Cristiano Ronaldo has confirmed that the 2026 tournament was the last World Cup of his extraordinary career.
Definitely yes, because I'm enjoying the moment.
At 41 years old, the Portuguese superstar had long hinted that this would be his farewell to football's greatest stage, and he made it official around the event.
I will be 41 years old. When I mean soon, it's really soon.
For a player who first appeared at a World Cup all the way back in 2006 as a young man, it marked the closing of an incredible chapter spanning 2 full decades. Fans around the world knew they were watching history.
I have opportunity to be and work in the zone that I feel comfortable.
The final act of one of the game's true giants on the biggest platform of all. Ronaldo approached it with his trademark determination, desperate to finally lift the one prize that had always escaped him. Sadly,
I'm enjoying the moment.
As the world would soon see, his last dance at the World Cup was destined to end not in the glory he craved, but in heartbreak. Cristiano Ronaldo's World Cup journey came to a painful end at the hands of neighbors and rivals Spain. On July 6, 2026, in Arlington, Texas, Portugal faced Spain in the round of 16, the knockout stage where a single loss means elimination. It was a tense, cagey encounter between two proud footballing nations who share the Iberian Peninsula, with both sides canceling each other out for long stretches. Ronaldo, leading his country as captain, battled hard, but found few clear openings against Spain's excellent goalkeeper, who was enjoying a record-breaking run of shutouts. As the match wore on and remained goalless, it looked as though it might head to extra time. Instead, a cruel late twist was waiting. Portugal's hopes and Ronaldo's final dream of World Cup glory would be dashed in the most agonizing fashion imaginable, right at the death of the contest. Cristiano Ronaldo's last World Cup was ended by a single heartbreaking goal deep into stoppage time. The match against Spain had remained locked at 0-0 right up until the very final moments, with both teams seemingly settling in for extra time. Then, in the first minute of second-half stoppage time, Spain struck. A substitute named Mikel Merino, who had only just come on, slipped behind the tiring Portuguese defense and calmly slotted the ball low into the net past goalkeeper Diogo Costa. It was the only goal of the entire game, and it arrived at the worst possible instant for Portugal. With no time left to respond, Ronaldo and his teammates were stunned. A header from a substitute sailed narrowly over the bar in the dying seconds, but it was not to be. One moment of quality had ended everything. Cristiano Ronaldo walked off the pitch in tears as the reality of his World Cup exit sank in. When the final whistle blew and Portugal's elimination was confirmed, the emotion of the moment overwhelmed the 41-year-old legend. Visibly heartbroken, he wiped tears from his eyes as he turned to applaud the Portuguese fans who had roared him on throughout his career. It was a deeply human image of one of the sport's most dominant figures, a man who has won almost everything, coming to terms with the fact that his lifelong ambition of a World Cup would now never be realized. Speaking afterward, Ronaldo said he was sad to be leaving in this way, but insisted he had given his all and could walk away with a clear conscience. He had left everything on the field, but this time, it simply was not enough. Cristiano Ronaldo shared a touching moment with a teenage opponent that many saw as a symbolic passing of the torch. As Ronaldo stood heartbroken after the final whistle, Spain's brilliant young forward, Lamine Yamal, still a teenager, approached the veteran to console him. The image of the 18-year-old, widely tipped as one of the faces of football's future, comforting the 41-year-old icon of its recent past, quickly spread around the world. It captured a beautiful truth about the sport, that even in the heat of fierce rivalry, there remains deep respect between its greatest talents across the generations. For years, Ronaldo has been the standard that every young player measured themselves against. Now, on his World Cup farewell, one of the brightest new stars stepped forward to pay his respects. It was a poignant, gentle end to a fierce contest between two great nations. Cristiano Ronaldo still etched his name deeper into the record books during his final World Cup, even in defeat. Earlier in the tournament, he achieved something no footballer had ever done before, becoming the first player in history to score at 6 separate World Cups, having found the net in every edition from 2006 onward. He scored 3 times across the 2026 tournament, including 2 goals in a single dominant performance against Uzbekistan. By the end of his run, he had racked up an incredible 27 World Cup appearances, the second most of any player ever, behind only his great rival. He also stands as the all-time leading scorer in men's international football. So while his final tournament ended in sorrow, Ronaldo departed the World Cup stage as a genuine record breaker, still reaching milestones at an age when most players have long retired. Cristiano Ronaldo will retire having never won the one trophy he wanted most of all, the World Cup. For all his staggering achievements, this remains the single glaring gap in an otherwise unmatched collection of honors. Across his glittering career, Ronaldo has won league titles in multiple countries, lifted the Champions League 5 times, and claimed the game's top individual award on 5 occasions. With his national team, he famously led Portugal to glory at the European Championship in 2016 and won 2 Nations League titles. Yet the World Cup, the sport's ultimate prize, always slipped through his fingers. His best run came way back in 2006, on his debut, when Portugal reached the semifinals. Despite 6 attempts spread across 20 years, the trophy simply was never meant to be his. It is the bittersweet footnote to one of the most decorated careers the game has ever known. Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup also brought an abrupt end to his national team manager's reign. In the immediate aftermath of the loss to Spain, Portugal's coach, Roberto Martinez, announced that he was stepping down from his role. He explained that it was the end of a cycle and that the team needed a fresh voice going forward, noting that he had come to Portugal specifically to win the World Cup, and without achieving that, he felt there was no reason to continue. Martinez had led the side for around 3.5 years, a period that did include a Nations League triumph. He also paid a warm tribute to Ronaldo, calling him an exemplary captain and a true icon of the game who deserves to be celebrated. His departure means Portugal now enters a new era, seeking a new manager just as its greatest ever player says goodbye to the World Cup. Cristiano Ronaldo may have played his last World Cup, but this is not the end of his football career entirely. While he has confirmed that the 2026 tournament was his final appearance at a World Cup, he has been careful not to announce a complete retirement. In fact, he stated afterward that he would take time to reflect and be with his family, and would not rush into any major decisions about his future. Ronaldo remains under contract with his club, Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, which he is signed with into 2027, so he fully intends to keep playing club football for now. Whether he will ever pull on the Portugal shirt again for other competitions remains an open question that only he can answer. For now, the great champion is simply saying farewell to the World Cup, not to the sport he has graced so brilliantly. Cristiano Ronaldo shedding tears at a World Cup was a heartbreaking scene the world had actually witnessed once before, 4 years earlier. Back in 2022, at the tournament held in Qatar, Ronaldo's Portugal were knocked out in the quarterfinals, losing to a spirited Morocco side who made history as the first African team to reach the semifinals. On that occasion, the then 37-year-old had spent much of the knockout stage on the substitutes bench, a difficult period in his career, and he came on only in the second half, unable to change the result. When the loss was confirmed, he left the field in floods of tears, walking straight down the tunnel alone, and many assumed then that his World Cup story was over. Remarkably, he returned 4 years later for one final attempt in 2026, only for his journey to end in tears once again.